Yo, what up? Doing this second video for the day, right? This is my second video I'm recording and uploading for you up on YouTube today. I'm just in a video making mood today, right? I appreciate those of you who have been sending in comments and subscribing to my channel. Those of you who have been hitting me up on Facebook, leaving me emails, I really appreciate that. And also those of you who have been sending in your donations because you get value from my videos, I really appreciate your support. It keeps me going every single day. So what I want to talk to you about in this video is, why don't your friends and family believe in you? And maybe that's a question you've been asking yourself for some time now. Maybe you've been asking yourself, why don't my friends and family believe in me? And I'm gonna break down at least the reasons as to why I think that's the case. Normally, normally it's harder to get support from those that we know, and a lot of times it's easier to get support from strangers, it seems, to some degree. And the reason for that, I think, is kind of simple, and that is because most of your friends and family, they've seen you grow up. They've watched how you were raised. They've came from where you came from a lot of times. They see that you're a human. They see your everyday life. They see your flaws. They see your ups. They see your downs. They see your high moments. They see your low moments. So when you're trying to detach from that mold that you've came from with your friends and family, you're going to face some type of opposition for that. They're not necessarily going to believe in you because they don't have necessarily an example of hope around them. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by an example of hope? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you were born into a family where everybody were doctors and everybody were surgeons and stuff like that. If you were born into a family like that, your belief in becoming a doctor or a surgeon is like 100 times more powerful. You're going to have 100 times more belief than the average person who doesn't necessarily have doctors or, surgeons in their family or dentists in their family, because, it's just not what they're used to seeing. So this has a lot to do with being a role model. A lot of times we have hope and belief in ourselves based on who we see having success around us. And if you were born into a family where everybody's more or less living mediocre, when you try to do something extraordinary and you have a big dream and you have a big vision and you want to make a lot of money, you don't want to just make $10,000 or $5,000 a month. You want to make $30,000 a month or $100,000 a month. When you speak those big dreams to people who aren't making anywhere near that, how can they fathom that idea? They can't even fathom it for themselves, much less them fathom it for you, because they watch you grow up. So that in turn leads to a lack of support, a lack of belief in you and what you're trying to do. But don't give up on yourself because of that. Don't give up on yourself because of that. I would recommend go out there in your journey for yourself and see what it is for yourself. See what the world has to offer for yourself by sharing your value, by taking action, by working with people who think like you and have similar dreams and visions like you have. So yeah, and a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people struggle with this. I've struggled with this for years. So that's why I'm making this video, because, excuse me, I know it can help somebody else out there in the world. So I say that to say, they don't necessarily have the friends and family that you have. Once you break through and you accomplish greatness, that's even more of a reason to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Because once you accomplish the dreams you want to accomplish and you reach your greatness and you reach your success, they now have something new to believe in. Don't you want to give your family something new to believe in? Don't you want to break the generational curses? Don't you want to give something new for your friends to believe in? Give them something new to believe in, something big for them to believe in? Because when you do that, you raise the consciousness of those around you. When you're playing big and you're not thinking small, you force those around you to self-reflect and to look within themselves as to why they don't believe in themselves. So understand that that's normal to have friends and family not necessarily believe in you. But you got to take action. You got to work hard. You got to do what you feel in your heart is right. And you got to stay committed to that dream. You got to stay focused on that vision. And that path is going to lead you to greatness. That path is going to lead you to becoming a role model. So don't get stressed out. Don't get frustrated. Don't get down on yourself. It's something that most of us experience. You know what I'm saying? It's really something that most of us experience. I mean, it's a sad thing. A lot of times we expect those to believe in us before we have the success yet. And some of us, You know, let's just be honest, right? Some of us were just idiots in the past. You know, maybe we got in a lot of trouble when we were younger. Maybe we made poor decisions when we were younger. Maybe we made dumb business moves when we were younger. And our family saw those business moves and they seen those mistakes we made. So if they seen those mistakes you made in the past, how they're not necessarily gonna always believe in you for the future. But that's not true, right? The past doesn't equal the future. The past doesn't equal the future, but a lot of the times the people around us, they judge us by our past. And they say, based on this, that, and the third, here's where you're going to be tomorrow. Here's where you're going to be in the next 2 years. Here's going to be in the next year, in the next 5 years. And they don't have a clue. They don't have a fucking clue as to where you're going to be. They don't have a clue as to what's going to happen in the next 365 days. They don't have a clue as to what's going to happen tomorrow. They don't have a clue as to what's going to happen next month for you. They don't have a clue. They're just talking based on the past, and they're trying to box you into an idea that they have of you. But you know, like they say, you know, there's a saying that says the devil is a liar, right? So you got to discover your truth. And once your truth becomes a reality, now they have no choice but to say, wow, you were right the whole time. Wow, you were faithful the whole time. And now what happens is you force them to self-reflect. That's why it's so important that you accomplish your goals. And that's why it's so important that you take action. Because once you accomplish your goals, which you are going to accomplish your goals, you got to believe in that. You cause the people around you to self-reflect. And they say, damn, wow, why didn't I believe in that person? Why didn't I see his power from before? Why didn't I see his greatness or her greatness from before? Well, because they underestimated you. But they didn't know they underestimated a king. They didn't know that they underestimated a queen. They didn't know that you were a diamond in the rough. They didn't know that. And it's okay. That's the beauty of life. It's okay. And everybody has their journey. Everybody has their decisions to make. And, you know, sometimes you're living in a situation where your dream is, your vision and your belief is so big. It's so big. And then you're dealing with people with a belief system that's this small. A belief system that's this small, and they're basing their belief system off of how they feel on the inside of themselves. So I say that to say, realize that the people that you're around, you know, you grew up with, sometimes they can limit you. Sometimes they can keep you from what you feel is right on the inside. And as much as you may be doing everything that you're doing for them, they won't be able to see it. They have eyes, but they can't see. They have ears, but they can't hear. You know? They have a third eye, but they have no vision. And here you are, you're coming and you're bringing up all of this stuff that they can't relate to. You're bringing up all this stuff that they can't even see. But you know it's there. So here you are, you want to break the generational curses. You want to break the cycle of poverty. You want to break the cycle of mediocrity. And you're facing opposition. So I'm making this video to let you know that that's normal. It's a normal thing to face opposition. You know, it's a normal thing to face opposition. But just be still. Be still. And when I say be still, I don't mean don't take action. I mean be still and be calm. When those you know are coming against you for doing what you want to do, just be calm and understand and have compassion of why they may be thinking the way they do. You know, because they haven't seen anybody around them break the mold that you're trying to break. They haven't seen anybody around them break the boundaries that you're trying to break. You know, think about this, for example. We're listening to a plane right now fly over our heads. There's a plane flying over our heads. And that's a perfect segue into what I want to say next. And I'm raising my voice because I want you to hear me over the plane. But there was a time in society where nobody thought that flying an airplane would be possible. There was a time in society where the Wright brothers, right? The Wright brothers are the people who came up with the idea to make an airplane. But there was a time where they received a lot of opposition from society where people said, you can't fly. There's not going to be no airplane. We're going to die. You know, there's not going to be, we can't even fathom the thought of a technology that can fly us from one place to another place. But guess what? They believed in their vision. So what I'm trying to say is that they've broken that boundary. Now people are flying thousands of flights, going out every single month. Thousands and thousands of flights, planes flying all over the place, jets flying all over the place, because they believed in their vision, because they believed in their idea, and because they believed in their big dream. So you have to understand that when you're trying to do something that many around you haven't experienced, you're gonna receive opposition. You're gonna receive enemies. You're gonna receive hate, and sometimes you're gonna receive that, like, you know, literally people not liking you for living your truth. But that doesn't make it bad that you have that dream in your heart. It doesn't make it bad that you may be misunderstood. It doesn't make it bad that they may not get you just yet. Because I guarantee you, when success shows up and money shows up, for some reason, everybody understands you. Everybody gets it then. Everybody supports then. And that's the easiest time to support, right? That's the easiest time to support, when things are going great. And for some reason, you ever notice this? Like, you ever notice, like, you'll be trying to do something and you'll be trying to focus on what you want to accomplish. And everybody has something to say about what you should be doing, right? Here's what you should be doing. Here's what you should be doing. Here's what you should be doing. But you know in your heart, no, this is what I should be doing. This is my purpose. This is where I'm gifted. This is what the talent that God blessed me with, and I'm focused on this, right? And you ask the question. This is the question you ask. You say, well, if you're telling me that I should be doing this, that, and the third, why not support me in what I want to do? What I actually am trying to do? Why not support me in that? You know? Well, at the end of the day, most people don't really support, you know, the people you know, and the friends and the family around you, until the success and the glory and the abundance shows up, you know? That's just the unfortunate thing about life. At least from my experience and from people around me that, you know, have went through the similar thing. So, you know, but you don't want to go to a point where you're bitter. You know, you're bitter. So focus on what you need to focus on. Stay focused on your path. Grow and learn. Get mentors. Read books. Things of that nature. I remember there was a time when I first got started in this business, and people told me that it would never work. People told me I wouldn't have success. And then I end up going off to make nearly 6 figures in that one business. Not even talking about other businesses. Nearly 6 figures. I went off to be on the leaderboards of that company for getting a lot of sales. You know, and my life changed from that experience because it forced me to believe in something new about myself. Because I didn't even have that much belief in the beginning. But those around me didn't believe at all. So that experience I'll never forget. I'll never forget that experience where, you know, I went off on my own journey to learn this and that about marketing and about sales and about entrepreneurship. And I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot. You know, so don't take that for granted. Don't take that for granted. Don't take that for granted. You know, and the success started pouring in. I started getting sales left and right in something that somebody told me that it would never work out. They didn't believe it would work out for them. And since they didn't believe it would work out for them, they didn't think it would work out for me. But everybody's different. Everybody has a different calling. Everybody has a different path. Everybody has a different purpose. And you want to get around those of people who are in line with your purpose. Like when I was in this company, I would go to these events and I would travel to like Chicago. I went to Denver. I went to Texas. I went to a lot of different places, Miami. And I would go to these events and I would listen to 7-figure earners in the business speak. And they would tell their story, and they would tell how they went from, you know, maybe a 9-to-5 job to making 6 figures or 7 figures or 8 figures, you know. And they told their story of how they broke the generational curses in their family, and how maybe their family doubted them in the beginning, and some of them slept in their cars in the beginning and they weren't having success. And they started telling these stories. And as you're there, and I was sitting at this event and I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, you know, something amazing happens when you step out of your comfort zone and you open up your mind. Open up your mind. Most people don't have an open mind at all. Maybe it's the fluoride in the toothpaste. I don't know. Maybe it's the fluoride in the toothpaste closing the third eye. But that's a whole nother topic. We're not going to talk about that in this video. But yeah, so I was opened up to a whole new world of people, of experiences, of a thought process, of a consciousness. And that whole new world led me to believe in myself. You know, and now I'm so secure in my position. I have so much belief in myself that it's like nothing that anybody says can't faze me, because I know what I'm doing and I know why I'm doing it. And you know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. And if you don't know why, get clear on it. Get clear. Get clear on why you're doing what you're doing. Get clear. Get refocused. Take a break if you need to think, to ponder, to wonder. Do whatever you need to do to get clear on what you need to do next to level up in your life, because Your friends and family won't always support you, but when they don't support you, what do you do? When they don't believe in you, what do you do next? What do you do? How do you go about things next? And I made this video to tell you exactly that. So I'm gonna see you later. It's John Belcher. Peace. It would be nice if I could press this button for this video to